How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be going over 4 tips that can help you get more cinematic footage with your drone. Let's talk about it. While my wife and I were scouting a resort for our recent vacation, I noticed the terrible quality of drone footage out there in the videos we were watching on YouTube. Now, granted, most of these videos were probably filmed by amateurs, but it struck me just how bad some of them were and how easy it could be to get better results. It's because of these thoughts that I decided to share these 4 tips with you guys today in hopes that you could take these and add them to your own mix just to help you capture better video on your next adventure. Now, I'm gonna assume that if you're watching this video, you already own a drone and it's capable of recording video. If you're thinking about purchasing a drone, at the end of this video, head on over to Samys.com and check out our selection of beginner and professional drones. First, let's talk about ND filters, because I think it's definitely a must if you want to keep your shutter speeds down in your camera to be able to shoot in cinematic frame rates. I typically shoot in 24 frames per second for clips played back in real time, and 60 to 120 frames per second when I know I want to slow things down in post. If you're not familiar with the shutter speed rule, then just remember you should try and shoot at shutter speeds double that of your frames per second. So if I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, then my shutter speed should be double that at 1/48 of a second, or the closest that your camera can get to that number. ND filters help keep the total brightness down, allowing you to hit proper shutter speeds without overexposing your shot. Now this brings us to the second tip, camera settings. Most drones offer recording file types like MP4 and MOV files, and they also have log options if you want to add color in post. It's great to use the auto exposure settings as a reference point, but I like to set them manually so the camera doesn't decide to change things up in the middle of a shot. White balance is super important to lock down so there's no color shifts in your footage, and the focal point could also be set once you're in the air. This is also a good time to display the guidelines as they help with composing the shot. Make sure your memory card is in the drone before taking off and that it's formatted and ready to record. The third tip is to plan out your shots. Ask yourself, what are the areas of interest and how is the light affecting them? I'll usually use a portion of the first battery, flying around looking for good compositions and planning my flight paths. Now, if you're like me and you buy the Fly More combo, you'll have extra batteries. But if you only have one battery for your drone, then it becomes even more important to plan your shots on the ground so you can maximize your flight time. My fourth and final tip is making sure you get a variety of shots. As filmmakers, we often get fixated on nailing a single shot and miss great opportunities just off in the distance. I love using the automated features on my drone to get a variety of shots because it makes it easier to focus on the camera when the app is doing the flying for you. These are actually really great if you're new to flying because the app will guide you and even display a sample of the shot before you actually take it yourself. I still have to say that I prefer getting on the sticks and flying myself, and there are 3 shots that I usually stick to when manually maneuvering the drone around. Number 1 is the tilt up reveal. This is a great shot when showcasing a beautiful location or sunset. Shot number 2 is the drone out reveal. This is where you fly backwards, revealing a location or structure. And number 3 is the fly out twist shot. This is achieved by hovering over your subject or focus point and flying straight up with the camera pointing downwards and adding a spiral twist. It's a very unique shot that adds some creative flair, and I really think will make the drone footage stand out from your next clips. That's it for these tips, guys, and I hope they can help you achieve some great shots next time you're out flying your drone. Like always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for everything photo and video. If you guys want to learn more about drones or action cameras, come on down to one of our Southern California locations or visit us online at samys.com. That's going to do it for us here today, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.